I'm Leigh LaRie.
And I'm Nick B.
Listen, we're just two single girls from the City of Roses discussing all things love, lust, and perception.
And roses are a symbol of all things beautiful about love.
But as you know, love can get a little dirty. So we're here to talk about it.
Dirty Roses Podcast starts now.
Hey, I'm Leigh LaRie.
And I'm Nick B.
And welcome to Dirty Roses Podcast. Guess what?
What?
We talking about something that ruined my marriage.
Let us know.
Share these stories.
So let's dive into that. Let's get into the topic. What is it that ruined your marriage?
Our topic is opposite sex best friends.
Oh.
Now, I'm being very sarcastic when I say it ruined my marriage, but it definitely played a part.
It definitely put the nail in a coffin.
It was a hard, ugly nail.
Absolutely.
Yes. But we have some guests that are going to help us talk about this, and they're married, and they could tell us some insight about how this works, how this doesn't work, and all those good things. So we are going to introduce my homegirl, my classmate, my friend from Grant High School. Should have been a general.
Don't do that.
We tried out for cheerleading. She made it. I didn't.
Oh, shit.
But it's cool. It's cool because she's good.
Lost.
That part. Because I showed my little Moesha cheer. I was like,
you did.
And they were like, yeah, it's a no, dog. It's a no, dog.
For us. But good luck to you.
That was great. In fact,
it was like we both was.
Yeah.
I just did it for you.
You did it better. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. And we got the wonderful second half of her union here. He got the batter on deck, the corn dogs, the tornado fries. He gonna cook everything in a deep fryer and make y'all have high cholesterol, and it tastes good on the way down. But we got the Bostics, Miss Kiki and Mr. Isaiah Bostic. Hey guys.
Yes, welcome.
Well, of course, I've alluded to this, but we start every episode with a story. We talk about something that kind of led us to this topic.
Yep.
So as y'all know, I was married for like 17 years with the same person for 21. Towards the end of our marriage, well, I'll just say this. He had a best friend from childhood that I was like, okay, she was the best friend from before I was around, so I'm going to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. I was cool with it. Never met her in real life in the whole 21 years that we were together. Never met her ever.
Really? Never met a best friend?
That part. We can get into that. Right. So never met her.
Noted.
The only people that did know her were the family that lived in the same town from when they were kids. But when they moved away, none of his newer friends knew her. His high school classmates didn't know her because he went to a different school. Like, nobody knew her.
So it's not here in Oregon?
No. So my ex is from another state. They lived in the same state. Then me and him met in Alabama when we were in college. And so this friend was from his childhood in that state that he lived in when he was born. And they remained friends the whole time. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to be the jealous type because I've got lots of guy friends that I've had since we were in middle school, whatever. Right. But I never had sex with them. And they had sex at one point in their time.
Oh,
so
he told you that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, he took her virginity.
That's a little more than a best friend.
Right. But it was when they were super duper young. So I was like, let me be the bigger person, right?
Okay. I heard you over there.
Right, that part. So
maybe I ain't that big yet. Maybe I ain't that big yet.
So towards the end of our marriage, I would say they became more vocally close. Like it wasn't like a, hey, we just check them every now and then kind of a thing. It was like we talk every single day. They're, checking in about the problems that me and him were having. She even was like, kind of like, in a way on my side. Like she was like the other person that I would be like, okay, well, he's doing these things. She's like, yeah, I got you, sis. She's like, I'm gonna tell him that he's wrong for that, whatever, right? Sure. So she was doing that whole thing. She had a birthday. She moved to Florida. She had a birthday. She invited us to come out there. Well, we were getting ready to go out of the country for a family trip. And I was like, it's too close. We can't afford to do this. We're not going to come, but we can come another time and make up for it, right? So that was the plan. 2 days before her birthday, he tells me I'm going to her birthday. I said, oh, we're going? You made it happen for us? He's like, no, I'm going. Oh. And I said, oh, okay. He left. He was gone for 8 days. Came back.
Oh.
I was like, okay. Problems were all over the place with us at that point. Like, it was awful. And then about a month later, he left. He claimed they never did nothing. They never messed around, aside from that one thing, whatever, back in the day. Wasn't dating her. About 4 months after our divorce was finalized, the kids are like, Dad's got a girlfriend. And I was like, is it so-and-so? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, Fast forward, she's now pregnant. pregnant, and he's moving to go live with her.
Right. Everybody's taking a sip.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sip to that baby.
Yeah. So, if you will, this topic is very personal to me.
We're going to sip and see that damn baby. What's the who that baby look like? Who does baby look like? Who the baby? Who that baby?
We'll see. But it's funny because
how far down is this unborn child?
when he told me, he claimed that she was only 2 months, but they knew the gender and everything.
The gender
at 2 months. So
modern technology.
So we just gonna keep lying, right? I said, you act like we didn't have a whole baby. You don't know the process, but it was whatever. So I'm like, we're not together. We've been divorced now for about a year now at this point. Separated for almost 2 years. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. It sucks, whatever. But my point is, during our relationship, I was cool with that one because she was there before me. I can't get mad about somebody that was there before me. During the relationship, though, he befriends females. And I always had issues with that because it was like, why do you need a new female friend? And if you're a new female friend, why are you not friends with me? Or why did we not check in? Why are you only checking in with him? It came to a point to where one of them came to one of our house parties, and all of my friends were like, why is this bitch following him around? Like, every time he got up and moved to another room.
Because she didn't know anybody but him.
Right. Well, she did. She knew me. It was part of a whole friend circle. And you probably know these people, but I can't say no names right now, but I'll tell you later. So anyways, so it always caused problems with our relationship because I was like, why do you need to check in with these people the way that you check in with me? Right. Like, I should be top priority. You should be checking with me about stuff. They're the ones that you check in when you have free time during regular office hours. Like, 9 to 5 or later. Right. My office hours. Right. So it became an issue. And so there's always discussions in people's relationships about, is it okay for you to have an opposite sex friend, an opposite sex best friend? How does that work? What are the boundaries? How does your spouse feel? So we invited a couple who y'all are married, and y'all have friends of all genders. All two.
All both of them.
I mean, we're in Portland, so there's like 35.
Nah.
There's like 35.
I got
50.
two genders of two genders of friends. No, I got all genders of friends.
But yeah, so
I got a rainbow.
So Nick B, have
Yes.
you ever experienced this at all with any guys that you dated?
So because I do not have long-term relationships, I have not ran into any jealousy of guys who I'm dating having issues with my best friends. So I connect more with men than I do women. And I mean, my girlfriends are strong girlfriends. Like, we're close and everything, but I think I connect faster, quicker, easier with guys. And I do have 2 guy best friends. Well, 3. He knows who he is. I love him too. One lives out of state, and the other I met actually while I was at work. And so he was like my work best friend, and I've got an out of state best friend. Talk about them all the time, but because my relationships were never very long, I don't think there was ever any intimidation. So I don't really have experience where I can speak on it being an issue that I've had a male best friend in a relationship.
So Kiki,
Yeah,
you mentioned off camera when we were having this conversation that you have a guy best friend.
I do.
You do. And you're good with this.
I'm cool with it.
Gotcha. And so was he a best friend before you guys met?
Yes.
Nah. And I also knew him before.
You knew him.
Yeah.
I know him.
Wait, did you just say nah? She said yes.
No,
You said
so,
no.
No.
so he actually knew him first.
Okay.
Oh.
He met him in high school.
Okay.
I met him later through someone else, and then we connected. And so then by the time we started dating, like, he and I were already close. We were already really good
So you
friends.
guys met separately.
Yes.
Yeah, I've
So
been
that's
knowing
probably
him-
why
I've
he
been
said
knowing him
no.
since-
Because he knew him first.
I've been knowing him since
He
middle
really
school.
did know him first.
Yeah, him and his brother have been knowing since middle
Okay,
school. So
okay,
they cool,
yeah.
cool
Gotcha,
guys. Yeah,
gotcha.
you know what I mean?
And do you have female friends?
I have a lot of people.
A lot of female friends. Okay, and that's never been an issue for you?
No, he has a female best friend.
Oh, okay. And did you know her before you got married or before you met Kiki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since I was 15.
Wow. Okay. So are there ever any like stipulations, like if it's a person that you knew before, or are there any ever like rules or boundaries that you guys set?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
no. For me, even when he and I first started dating, I only had an issue with the female best friend because it was a little awkward at first. I was like, this is your best friend, but I've never met her. I've never talked to her.
Right.
I've never seen her. I just know her name, you know. And that was a little off-putting for me because then it was kind of like,
Why?
Why?
Right.
You know, why? But
She didn't. You know how
she's very.
you know
but
how
once I
women
met her,
are
I
about
got it.
other women.
Yes.
And
She's
and
very.
she was protecting me. We really been friends since
Right.
like we was 15. So she meet a female, she'd be like, oh, you know,
Wait, the
like
best friend was
The best friend.
you know what I'm
Realistically,
saying?
the best friend could care less about meeting me at the time. She was like, I don't care, because what if this don't go nowhere? And, you know, I don't even care about me. Yeah, now I've been made friends with this girl. What if I don't like her? No.
I find that with my family members who date people, and I feel like I don't want to meet this person until I know you're serious.
She had no desire to meet me. And so to me, that was weird. She would like invite him to dinner and stuff like that. And I'd be like, oh no.
So, okay, now before we dive more into this, my first question that I need to get clarification on is what makes someone a best friend versus just
A friend.
a friend?
I think it's really a phrase. You know, I think for us, with me and my friend, we knew each other since we were 15. We lived right next door to each other forever. So we was really friends every day. Like, and we never did anything sexually ever. You know, we were just really friends.
Right.
So I think for me, it was that we grew up from then, and then as adults, we even became friends. You know, like we were friends that long, so we always called each other best friends. You know, but the definition, I think it's just the term. I think when you have somebody that you're always really cool with, or you always you communicate with a lot, or you know, and then as the female, she was the only female that I did that with as far as that time. So I think that's why I called her my best friend.
Okay. Is that the same definition for you?
Yeah. For me, I think the reason I kind of, you know, dubbed him my best friend is that was the first male that I met that I felt like I connected with, bonded with, and he never tried to be on that type of time. Never once tried to be on that type of time. Genuinely was just like, you're a super cool person. Like, we connected through music. We connected through a whole bunch of different things. We're both like super silly and goofy. You know what I mean? And so that was the first time that I genuinely connected with the male.
Right.
That
But are you
was-
attractive to him?
No, no.
That was the next question. So,
But honestly, here's the thing.
Or is he
Is
attractive
I'm not
person?
a person that focuses on aesthetics.
okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. My baby bad. Okay? Don't get me wrong.
Is that
My baby bad.
There
You
you
know what
go.
I mean? And that's what attracted me to
the way
him.
Leigh
He's
felt
looking like that.
like it was basically like show you.
I'm that nigga.
Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
He ain't me. He ain't me.
But for me, I'm actually more of a personality-driven person. I don't care what you look like. If you got a dope vibe, you got a dope personality, I'm in.
Yeah.
But with him, it just never was like that. We were just genuinely cool. He was fun. He was cool to kick it with.
If there had been physical attraction on either end, would you have still been able to have been best friends?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have a question. So, do you feel like, because I find this a lot with a lot of my guy friends, not all of them, but some of them, that at some point in time, there was a level of attraction that there was like, and I feel like I say this very wholeheartedly. I feel like when you have a best friend, because you are so connected to this person, that you have a moment of confusion, I think. Like where you're like, do I like this person or do I not? And then you realize you don't. You're like, okay, cool. But I always feel like there's that moment of confusion that kind of blurs lines sometimes. And I feel like sometimes it happens on both ends.
Yeah.
And they don't always happen at the same time. So it's like at one moment you'd be like,
True.
dang, I'm looking at this motherfucker like, could I ever date this person?
Right.
Do I feel something because we're so connected?
Well,
And they'd be
especially because they typically know everything about you.
Right.
And they still vibe with you. They still kick it with you. And it's
Despite
like,
all things.
yeah, it's like you know everything about me.
Right.
And you still tapping in.
Right.
Okay, maybe
Right.
this could work. So,
Right. I was asking my two guy best friends. I kind of asked some of these exact same questions to them, trying to get clarification. Like, all right, so what makes your best friend the best friend, but not the one? You know, like, especially when you get married, and I'm sure somewhere in your vows or somewhere on your wedding day, the two of you at some point said, wow, I get to marry my best friend. But
Right.
when I spoke with my guy best friends, they made it very clear that if you're my best friend, you're not the one, because I'm not going to share the same type of conversation with my best friend that I am my spouse. My best friend is gonna know that I just took down 3 baddies last night.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell my wife that necessarily. And me being the best friend I'm like, but did they all get theirs? Like, how did you do? And that's, how did it go?
Right.
Me
No, for
asking
real.
my questions where they
Man,
would not
that's so
expect
mean.
that from they wouldn't expect that from their wife. They're
Right,
like, okay,
obviously
Nicole's
not.
gonna say that.
Well,
Yes.
obviously not.
No, seriously. Like my best
a
friend,
good
I used to
question.
be like, but was she cute though?
Right.
But like, what her
but did
house look like?
But did
Was
she
her
have a
house
fat
clean?
ass though? I mean,
Yeah.
she a baddie though.
I was that.
Right, that's me.
I was definitely that friend.
I'm that friend.
I definitely used to be like, don't like her.
Well,
her
you
shoes,
smash her
her
again,
shoes
though.
was dirty. That mean her house dirty. I was definitely that friend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right. So, with that being said, do you guys kind of see the same thing when it comes to your best friends versus your spouse? Do you tell your spouse each other the same things that you tell your best friends?
I think that, be honestly, no.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we all have our, like with me and we was friends, but I was kind of placed in the friend zone by her. So I'm not going to say that. So, because I was like, again, I was 15, so I'm being honest, I was
Right.
young. And I liked her, but she liked older dudes. She had a baby and everything by 15. Like, you know what I mean? So, right. So she like older dudes. So I was like, I can't compete with that at that point. So I'm just going to be her friend. Like, we was really friends.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, where did the question lead to?
It was really about, do you share the same
Do you
thing
share
with
the
your
same
spouse
thing?
so you
Yeah.
your best friend?
But yeah, that's where we went back. My bad. But as far as sharing the same thing, I think it's a little different. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, you got stuff, because I might have things that I talk about with her that have nothing to do with Kierra, you know what I mean? Or things that, things that we've been talking about since we could have inside jokes that she'll never know about, or, you know what I mean? Because it's been so long. I'm 41. That's what, damn 30 years that we as friends. They're like, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, I think we always going to have conversations that I wouldn't have, but there's nothing that I would hide from her. If she was to ask me about something that me and my friend talked about, I would tell her, you know.
Are there things that are off limits in talking to the best friends in relation to your relationship?
Is there anything you keep in the house, conversation-wise, that you wouldn't share?
I'm gonna say yes and no. See, that's kind of a hard question. So I say yes and no because for me, my best friend is also married. So I may not dive into specifics or full-on details, but this is somebody that I can also bounce off marital issues from.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're best friends, but then you're also married. So I can be like, hey, has this ever been a problem for you guys? Is this hard for you? This is, you know what I mean? We typically are super lighthearted though.
Right.
We don't talk about a lot of issues both ways. You know what I mean? He will every now and then, maybe be like, oh, I'm stressed out, or I'm going through this, but never just specifically like she's doing this, and this.
I only
and I
have
don't
vent
like
to my
it.
male friends like that.
Yeah.
So like,
But he's not
I
a
think
venter, period.
That's I was about to say, like, I'm
He's
like,
not a venter,
like
period.
I got a lot of friends that are like close, like boys, and I really won't talk about my relationship to them like that. Like maybe every once in a while, like if we having a deep conversation and like things lead to that. But as far as like, oh, something happened, I'm like, oh, bro, guess what happened over here? Like I don't know, I never been that person.
Definitely speak to this because you're the only man in the room. Is that mostly your personality, or is that mostly because men don't communicate the same way that women do?
That's facts, but that is me. Okay. That is my personality. But that's 100% fact that women and men communicate differently. Like, I think we tend to, for me, I bottle a lot of things in. Like, I don't put everything out there right away. I might sit, watch, and listen. I do that with everything, with every aspect of my life. Kind of just sit back and then play, and then I'll get fed up and get mad, and then that's an issue too. So I try not to do that. But yeah, I think men communicate a little bit different. Women, as well. Y'all would say everything. Maybe not all y'all. I'm sorry. Let me say that. But a lot of y'all will say what's on your mind most of the time when it comes to your mind. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference. I think that's
that might be
weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Around the time.
I'm gonna get
Not
another one.
everybody, but you know.
Yeah.
She's not the only woman I ever dealt with, so it's not like I'm always talking specifically on her. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I'm not.
She said, I have a whole plethora of...
I'm not saying all that, but yeah, nah.
No.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where any of your female friends or male friends have caused any kind of issue in your relationship? Doesn't have to be the best friend, but any of your friends.
Not that I could think of.
Would there be a situation that could cause like an issue?
Yeah, you're not spending the night at nobody's house. Yeah.
Like nobody like who?
Drunk to drive, you better call the Uber.
You mean like nobody like who? I'm confused. Like one of your friends or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah, we're not doing that one.
Yeah.
Because I might show up and knock on the door.
Are either of you okay with the other one disapproving of you having any particular friend? Like if you don't like a guy friend that she's close with, do you ever say, you know what? I feel like you need to take a step back.
Nah,
from that
facts.
friendship?
I've done that before. 100% facts.
Yeah. How does that go over
have.
for you? How does that work? And
For me,
She done it before too.
he didn't. So here's the thing. Here's what's so funny. Hey, here's what's so funny though, is I did have a friend that he expressed, that's a little too close for me. It makes me uncomfortable. To me, I thought that was dope. A lot, like you said, a lot of men don't talk about their feelings.
Right,
You know what I mean? I felt like that was big of him
Right.
to admit that and admit it in a respectful manner.
Okay.
He wasn't rude. He didn't yell. He just was like, yeah, for me, that's a no. So because of the manner that he did it, say less. Shut it down. Hey.
What were there, if you care to share, what were the particular, I know Portland's so small, so if we say too many details, people will be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that is.
Definitely don't
want that. But
No, you cool. You cool.
So particular details was just like, oh, come over, let's do wine tasting, let's do this, let's do that. And he was like, okay, that's cool.
right.
But that particular character, I don't know.
What was it about this person though?
I think what it really was is there were some other things that had transpired with someone else. So that person didn't necessarily have the best reputation.
Gotcha.
would you agree? I mean, she's kind of speaking.
And not only that, I think that as a man, I know certain things that men say and men do
You
that
could tell there was
yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
There was something
100%. There's certain things you say and certain things you know that a man say and man, you're like, nah, bro.
So you felt like he was that friend that was just hanging around waiting for some
Yeah, and no, and if she was the fold and give over, you're like, oh yeah, he definitely would have did it. So that's why I'm like, nah, if you choose to do that, that's on you, because this was a little bit earlier in our relationship.
Yeah, this was kind of.
So I'm like, yeah, man, I don't agree with it, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, I was Kelly.
And she
I didn't
like
even see
super naive and green.
No, he's not. What are you talking about?
Bro, all right.
He would never do
So listen, again, this was a long time ago.
Yeah,
this I want to say.
This was probably like
8,
2
9
years into us.
So
dating.
maybe like
We've been
8,
together
9,
12
10 years ago. So
Yeah.
right.
I had did the the look through the phone thing. This is where I did.
Okay.
This is what happened. I
You
looked through
searched
the
for it, you
phone.
found
Yeah, and then what I saw was, it's talking about wine tasting. They're like, let me come and taste that. LOL.
I don't like. I don't like that sentence.
Hey,
Ain't no-
LOL.
That shit.
No,
How are you
How are you overlooking that strong red flag?
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
That was a flaming red flag.
yo, flaming. Okay. Now that I look back at
Fire.
it, now that I look back at it, I'm like, duh, stupid. But for me, I was so here.
That you weren't even considering.
And
can
that,
know you're
but
being
that is
funny.
something that my mom and I have talked about, where she was like, you're the type of person that when you like someone, you're so tunnel vision that you're naive when other people are throwing out innuendos or flirting or whatever. Because to me, he was like, yeah, come, you know what I mean? You should come over and taste it. And I was like, oh, look at me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't today, but maybe tomorrow.
That ain't working.
Literally swear to God, never thought that's what it was.
I mean,
until it got brought up, and then I said,
again, this is a long time ago. I'm like, you're not that stupid. There's no way. There's no way you're that stupid.
So did you actually have a conversation with old boy?
Yeah.
And okay, so you didn't do a slow fade. You just said my boyfriend doesn't like you.
No, not even that.
Cut it off.
Immediately, as soon as it was brought up, I was like, yo, it's been brought to my attention. This makes him uncomfortable. Out of respect of him, you and I will be on a. When I see you, I'm gonna speak. But that's
super
it.
grown. I love that.
So,
very direct.
okay, so, but you said that she also was actually to cut people off. And what was their reason?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did she actually taste it?
No. 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 All right.
Oh, so I think that got on my glasses,
This again was very early on in us dating. Like since we've been married, I don't think we've had to do that.
Okay.
But this was like, you know, in the dating phase or whatever. For me, I ain't even gonna hold you. It was literally, I know this person. I know she will suck that thing like she say hi
From the back.
okay? Like, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter who it's attached to.
Oh.
Just hi. So for me, yeah. For me, that's a no, because
She had no boundaries.
I'm thinking, don't put yourself in that predicament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you and I are dating and this means something to you and you wanted to go somewhere, you got to show me something. You know what I mean? You got to show me something. And if I'm saying, hey, I don't really think that's a smart move. I don't really think you should put yourself in that situation, because at the end of the day, you're human.
That part.
You're gonna fall. Because if a girl is in front of
Not
you,
every time.
not every time.
I didn't say no a lot
But
of
if a
times.
girl is in front of you, and she like pull that thing down.
He's still throwing out that I'm that nigga right here. I turned down pussy.
But if a girl is in front of you and she like pull that thing
You know what they're
down,
offering for these
you're
damn
a
corn
person
dogs?
that likes that thing. So you're not gonna always say no. Because a lot of men also feel like head isn't cheating.
What is cheating in your relationship?
To me,
Yeah, in general, like
to me, if you gotta sneak or you gotta hide it, you cheating. I don't care if it's text messages, hugs, whatever. If you feel uncomfortable doing it in front of me, which, first of all, I'm an open book. I like a lot of things.
Okay. Uh-oh.
But if you can do that if you can't do that in front of me, then you know you're wrong. You know you're cheating. You know there's something to that.
yeah.
That is not okay or will be frowned upon.
Right. And see, that's funny you say that. So, like, a lot of the females that my ex had befriended were in groups of friends where they had all slept around together. Like, they were sleeping with the guys, and like every friend had sex with the guys that were in that group friend circle. And that made me uncomfortable, because it was like, y'all are okay with being friends with the guys that you have sex with and just like kicking it with, and then your homegirls also had sex with the same guy, and y'all just all kicking it like y'all just cool. And that made me uncomfortable, because I was like,
That is.
it was like a
relationship.
It was like an octuple type.
May I ask, are these Caucasians?
Some of them were partial, and some of them weren't at all.
But no all white girls.
There might have
Because
been a
that's
couple.
very common.
That is,
Coming from Grit, we did see some things.
we done seen a few things.
That is very common,
Right.
within that community, where it's like, African Americans is like, no, thank you. So that's
Right,
fine.
right. But
I stand corrected.
But it was uncomfortable, because I was like, I would tell him, like, as a woman,
Yeah.
when a woman has ulterior motives, like
He was saying,
and I guess anybody would know. I was just, as a woman, but as a person, what the same gender is. We know how we move. We know.
Well, because
like,
sometimes you've done it before.
that part, and then the other person, he was actually oblivious. Oh no, she wouldn't. But then his argument was, I don't want that, so it doesn't matter if she does. And I said, why would you put yourself in the position to even have that be questioned? And that made me feel uncomfortable. He didn't get it. We really had arguments about, he would not cut people out for me. And that should have been a red flag back then. You know what I'm saying? But
question to all three of you then. If
Because I'm making an interview.
yes, because you're part of this. So is it a requirement that if your partner has a best friend that best friend is also friends with you on some level?
I think
Like
If her friend, if I didn't already know him, I wouldn't be like, I gotta be friends with him.
Alright.
do you need to meet him?
I don't. I guess it would be weird not to meet somebody that's her best friend. You know what I mean? If me and her are married and we live together and we do everything every day, like how, right. So like, I think that anybody that's anybody's best friend, like you would meet that person at some point in time.
Leigh, you actually never met his best friend in person.
I think-
you are aware.
That's crazy.
Well,
Like,
see, but
you know what I mean?
she was in a different state, so I always kind of just chalked it up to that.
Yeah.
But I also
But how much did they hang out? Like,
so I found this out later that every time he traveled back home or he traveled somewhere where she was nearby, they hung out, and I did not know this. And it wasn't like he hid it. I guess he just assumed.
Lie by omission.
Kind of. It wasn't like, oh, I hung out with so and so when I was in town or whatever. It was just like he just didn't mention it, and so I never knew. And so when I actually had a conversation with her, because at one point after he got back from the trip, and I actually was like, in my mind, I was like, well, let me call her and see maybe if they talked about something that could help me with my relationship. Because as his best friend, they might talk about it. She might give him some point of views, whatever. So I tried to text her, and I realized I was blocked at this point.
She blocked you?
She blocked me after the trip, and so I was like, something happened. That don't sit right. And so I managed to get in touch with her in some kind of way, and we had a whole conversation. And I was like, well, I find it odd that in 21 years I've never met you, and we've gotten married, we've had kids. You've never been a part of any major milestone in your best friend's life. How are y'all best friends? She threw out there, we hang out all the time. And that was such a blow to me, to have another woman be like, yeah, we hang out all the time. You just didn't know. And I was like, bitch. If we
so
was in the
what if
same-
that would have been a male? Would you have feel like? Cause I feel like if that would have been a dude that you never met before, and he'd be
because
like, oh,
there's
hang
no
out.
threat of them fucking.
Or
is
is that? Listen, I don't know these days.
I hope that ain't.
That's
No,
very true.
these days.
That's very true.
You
But
know.
just to be on the safe side, I would say
Yeah.
there was no
I get you.
threat.
I
no
get
threat.
you.
Yeah.
And to have somebody who knows intimate details about a person have that kind of access to them, and I'm not aware of it, it felt weird to me. And so yeah, I don't think it's okay if you haven't met. Like, every guy that I was friends with had met my ex at some point, whether it was at a party that we had,
True.
that we always introduced people. I always
Yo, that's
and-
very true.
right. You know what I'm saying? I
You always
had everybody.
You always brought everybody
everybody.
to
And
everything.
and I said earlier, like I didn't like the idea of new friends, right?
Yeah.
But I won't lie, I made a lot of friends, since I've been back home, and also because of the line of work that I'm in, that I network, I connect with people, but I don't consider them my friends, but I do talk to them frequently, but I always introduced. It was always a point in time where they was like, oh, I'm going to this thing, and then we're there. I'm like, hey, meet so-and-so. This is the person I was telling you about, and I told him about everybody. And so it was always kind of like I didn't get that same respect.
Yeah.
And so it felt sneaky.
Interesting.
So are exes off limits to being friends?
Yeah. What's the point? Oh,
You look like you have a question.
Have they always been off limits?
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
Should be. But
Wait, no.
Hasn't
we,
been.
what? As far
Haven't been.
as far as off limits, what do you mean? Like
Like-
no talking to at all, no speaking
well, like
to,
to consider.
no
Or you
Facebook
said-
friends.
no, okay, so
I think you
Good-
misunderstood
good
what she was
clarifying
saying.
question.
Right.
because I looked at it as, are you saying our ex is off limit to be best friends?
Right.
Because no, like you
Yeah,
said,
no, yeah, I'm
if
cool
you
with that.
if you slept with them or you guys,
Yeah, nah.
you can't now say that's
best
my
friends.
best friend.
Right.
That's like being like, oh, Cuddy, but y'all
Right.
humping.
Right.
That's not your cousin.
He's like my
because y'all
brother.
humping.
Brother.
Yeah. But
But friends.
I'll let you go.
No, go ahead.
Oh, for me, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and I've been guilty of making this mistake of being friends with an ex,
Okay.
and it did get weird.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I get it. It's not smart, is what I will say.
Okay.
I'll just speak from my mistake. I won't even say, this should be a thing for all people. From my mistake, I feel like it invites the wrong energy because you can be cool, you can talk, you can whatever, when you see each other out.
Right.
But I feel like when it becomes too close or there's too much conversing, it allows that room for
old feelings.
And maybe not even necessarily old feelings, but like it could be a situation where like today I don't like you, but this person's giving me the energy. Yeah. So it just allows that room for unsettling footing. You know what I mean? Right. Whereas like that may not have even been the intent, but that is the downfall of I've already dated this person. Or you may even get in a space where you're like, because let's be honest, marriage is hard, bro. Marriage is hella fucking hard. You know what I mean? So, and not that it's a bad thing, because what I will say is, even being on the topic of best friends, I know you hear people be like, oh, my spouse is my best friend. But are they? You know what I mean? But I can honestly say he and I are really good friends. And that is what I think has kept us together for so long. Like the first 2 years of us dating, 2-3 years, never had an argument. Never.
That was crazy. That was like one of my deciding factors.
Crazy. I've never dated anybody that for that long of a period that I never once was like, cause see, you think I'm stupid. Okay, so you want to play with me? Okay, cool, bet.
You know what I mean? Me as an argumentative type. Like your energy, you seem very outspoken and
I'm passionate. I'm not argumentative.
Baby, when I tell you he'll leave the room, oh bitch, argue with yourself. He's gone. He's not having it.
You ain't gonna argue.
Oh no, he's not.
I have a conversation. I'm down with conversing and having a conversation about something I'm passionate about. Like, if I gotta get my point across or whatever, you know, I'm down. But I feel like as far as the question, like I don't mind her being cool with, like, especially like social media with her exes. I don't care about and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? So you can watch our life all you want to from afar. You know what I mean? Whoever you are. But as far as like somebody that you're communicating with every day or talking to, I feel like, that's a little different. That's, you know what I mean? I think that's where it can get weird. Which I'm the same way. I don't communicate with any of my exes other than my kid's mom, like, for real. But like as far as social media, I think I have a few exes or people that I've dealt with, like, that wasn't platonic, I guess, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook. So, and she knows that,
right.
The same thing for me,
So if your friend didn't like your spouse, would that be a deal breaker for that friendship?
Absolutely not. Oh, for the friend?
For what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, my bad.
God
damn. God damn.
Okay, so I was like,
absolutely. That has to.
I'm thinking relationship. I'm like, if my friend's not liking them, don't matter to me. Okay, for the friend,
when you said that, I went to him and and that's why I had to.
I knew I had a feeling she misunderstood that question.
My bad.
I hope she did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's a hard one though, because especially like best friend wise, like that's my guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's my dude. That's my dude that's been there through some of the hardest times of my life.
I think that if I really respected her, I would never ask her to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like somebody that's a part of her life or friends, if I know that it's somebody that is really in her life and her part of somebody she grew up with or something, like, why would I ask you to eliminate something like that? Like, I never understood people like that in relationships.
Even if that person like didn't like you and despised you altogether.
If he didn't like me, if he didn't like,
that's
so
the question.
If he
didn't like you, should I cancel him as a friend?
If he didn't like me, should you cancel him as a friend? I mean, I wouldn't say cancel him, but just don't talk to him while I'm around, I guess.
I mean, if he
or don't bring him around. You can't. That means he's not coming to know nothing we doing at the house. He's not coming to. Yeah, if you don't like me, bro, then you know what I mean. Shit, right. But if you feel like it's somebody that's that influential in your life to where you like need him around, like, or you know, I guess if
I would
that's
have to question that though, because I'm thinking if this is your best friend,
what's the
and
reason
they
though for
have-
not liking you though?
right,
Right.
and they love you, support you, but they have a problem with your choice of who you want to be with, how is that being a best friend? Because best friends are supposed to support you, supposed to.
But what if he don't like me for something that had nothing to do with her?
And that's
Like,
what
you know what I'm saying? Like, so you know, it's like if that's what it is, like, you know, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't expect everybody to like me, so I would. It's people in her family that don't like me right now.
Don't like me.
No, it's people. Literally, it's people in her family that don't like me. Well, it is what the fuck it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dead ass. Like,
Right.
bro, you can't expect everybody to like
No,
you.
you can't
No,
please
I don't know
everybody.
that he got somebody that don't like me. I'm pretty awesome.
It is
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
Right.
If they do, they ain't saying that.
I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't know about none of that.
I don't know. I'm pretty awesome. No, but it can make it awkward, and it can make you feel like you're in the middle, though. Like, not even just friends, just in general, people not liking your spouse. And the other thing is, I feel like where a lot of people go wrong as well is never telling the good of your spouse. You can't.
Always telling the
You
bad.
can't contact your
Facts.
friends and be like, he ain't shit. He
Facts.
did this. He did this. He did this. Oh, but y'all should love him because I do.
Then your
Ah,
friends
that's
is really
hard, yo. That's hard, yo. Because I'm like,
I
I'm
think that's one
literally
of the
going
dumbest
through
things that
right
people
now.
do.
I'm literally like, I have a family member that is like my baby. You know what I mean? That I don't really like the way she being done, but like he told me today, that's not your place.
Right.
That's not your place.
still
If
mess
she
with him.
chooses to be in that space, you respect her being in that space. It's not for you to not like that person. You can feel how you feel,
You know what?
but you cannot say, I don't like this person because of how
The
they're doing this.
second she like, oh fuck, you think I don't want to fuck with him. You like, yeah, I'm on the same page. And then now she mess with him again, and now you like, what happened? Man, you done already told him off and told him everything. You know what I'm like? You don't like him again. Like you made me not like him. Like you know what I'm saying? So like that's why you don't do that.
Tell your friends everything, especially the bad things about your relationship, because your friends won't forget.
Yeah.
They'll quickly forget the happy times
Because there's no emotional connection with that person. With, yes, they'd be like, oh, it's fucking forever.
forever.
It's
Lord.
Ain't no second
and it's
chances
stuck.
with me.
It's up and it's stuck, bro. Like this is it.
Yep.
So yeah, but
So, oh, go ahead.
that's why I'm mindful of what I share.
Gotcha. I mean, and that should just go in general for any relationship period. But so what if one of your opposite sex friends wanted to date one of your friends? So like they're like your best friend.
Oh,
Well,
I'm cool with that.
person.
Like I said, it was one of my male close friends and her. It all depends who they are. Cause I done had that situation kind of happen before. I'm like, hell no, bro, y'all would never work out. Cause I know you and I know you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I never. But if you know, but at the end of the day, if they click and everything is cool for them, you know what I mean? So be it. You know what I mean? That's good for you. But sometimes you can call it out like, nah, bro.
And what if one of your friends, or one of his friends, or vice versa?
We done had it happen.
We've had it happen, and
How did it end up?
and
Not good.
It don't never. It
the
almost.
only one still together.
It does. It almost never works. It almost never works out.
But my thing is,
Cause it don't be about.
cute for a minute.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's and I think the problem is are you genuinely into this person or is it convenience? I think a lot of relationships are
Facts.
built over convenience. Oh, this is
He was with
boring,
him.
so
We
I'm
was
a
with
real.
him.
So boom,
Right,
let's
yeah.
do double dates. Let's do this. Let's do that. But y'all not really tapped in all the way.
It just looks good.
It looks good.
Sounds good.
You're cool. I'm cool with him. She's cool with her.
I done been in a lot of them situations. I'm taking one for the team. I might not even really like this chick,
But it doesn't.
she here.
It doesn't. I feel like convenient connections never last long.
So knowing that, do you guys ever play matchmaker because you know your friends and you know your spouse's friends?
Nope.
I don't know.
You stay away from that on purpose?
Oh,
I stay in a child's place. I stay in a child's place.
Yeah, I don't never play matchmaker. I was like,
Now.
I'll stay out of that.
Okay.
If they want to do that,
okay,
that's what they do. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Not lie the day before the good Lord's Day. Okay. Sometimes what I will do is if you like, hey, I'm kind of digging, you know what I mean? Put in a good word.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. But I'm never like, oh, you like dolphins? Nikki likes dolphins? I think you guys should hang out. I'm not that person. But
You better say something,
the
nigga.
wingman.
I'm like, nigga, you better say something. Yeah, if you like,
Side brother before. Okay. I didn't play side brother before with some of my friends. I've definitely done that, but I'm not the type that's gonna be like, oh, I think you guys should, cause on paper you guys look good. And no, I've never been that one.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna throw in a good word for you though if you ask me. Hey, listen, I got you though. I'm gonna give you a little boost.
So do you find that, I guess, well, married person aside, that if you have opposite sex friends, we'll just say friends, when they enter into their own relationships, do they act different towards you?
I feel like that's a hard yes.
Hello. Whatever. Listen, let me tell you something.
Hello, whatever.
Let me tell you something. Okay. I have literally had friends that I've been like, yo, when you get in a relationship, I never hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
You're only my friend when you're single. Why?
that must be a female thing.
Ish.
Actually,
Because I've had males
yeah,
do it.
I've had
I've had males do it.
Well, that makes sense for y'all.
Yes.
For y'all to have male friends
Yeah,
to
I've had
disappear
males do
because
it
you got to
too.
think about it. It's the female that don't want them or
Yeah.
you around.
No, but listen.
So that makes sense for y'all, you know?
You know what I think is so awkward is like, I genuinely am who I say I am.
Right.
I've always been me. Anybody that knows me can be like, if you knew Kiki from 5th grade till 40,
same girl.
same Kiki,
Yeah.
same person. If I tell you I'm cool with this, I like this, I don't like this, take me at my word because that's me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say, sis, I don't want your man,
I don't want your man.
But the thing, like,
I don't want your man, baby. And there ain't nothing that you can say or he can do that's going to make me now want your man.
all I know is that when my best friend gets serious with someone, I always know, not because he's told me that he's met someone, but because our conversation gets lower. And it's not because the female. No, him and I've had a hard conversation about that too, where he's very upfront with anyone he meets new. He's like, hey, you see this name Nick in my phone? That's not a guy.
Yeah.
He is my female
Right.
friend. We talk all the time. She's gonna call all the time. I'm going to respond to her when she needs me. He's like, you ain't gonna see her messaging me at 3:00 in the morning. It is not that relationship. Right. But I know that when he's in a relationship, even before he tells me, just because his energy is shifted and is focused on someone else.
Let the be a majority.
Which it should.
He's pouring his energy into establishing a new relationship. Like, you
Right.
can't talk to me all day and her all day.
Right.
But do you find that it's the same with same-sex friends? Like with your home?
No,
That's what I'm saying.
it's not.
It's really, that's what I'm
Female friend gets
I don't
mad.
know, girl.
They're always the same. Well,
I don't know.
like for
Because I got a female friend that I ain't talked to in the last 3 years because she didn't got married. So it happens.
oh,
It happens. But
but what's my best friend?
No. No.
Still weird.
She just was a really good friend. Yeah, she was a really good friend that I feel like when she was single, we was here.
Yeah.
And then she met this guy, she got married, and I didn't really talk to her anymore.
Damn.
Right.
And then it kind of got to that, like, I feel like I'm the only one reaching out. So
Mm,
I just kind of stopped.
gotcha.
But typically with males, I get it. You know, they're, like you said, they're trying to establish that bond. They're trying to build a rapport. So yeah, I don't have that same time. It's not necessarily a diss or a slight.
So do you
I
think?
just don't have that same time.
Do you think he didn't talk to his male friends as much as because when he didn't talk to you?
I do think he talked with them the same because culturally, that's his tribe. They're like that's.
But what I'm saying is that that shows you that there's a difference.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? 100%.
Difference in the conversation you're having with men versus the conversation you're having
True.
with women if that girl's best friend or not. Like, he's not gonna sit and talk to his guys about his emotions,
Right.
have emotional conversations, but he may come to me be like, yo, I just don't understand why I'm not connecting with these women.
Right.
He ain't gonna have, so the conversation in itself is different.
But he'll go to them and be like, bro, she ain't giving it.
Right. He will do that. But
There's a difference.
so before the two of you got married though, did you guys consider each other your best friends? Or were you just like, we're together, we love each other, I don't consider him my best friend? But
So me, I feel like, I think people use that term loosely,
yeah.
for one. Like, best friend, like, so I think that best friend is somebody lifelong, or not even lifelong, or somebody that you really been friends with. Like, me and one of my closest partners, I've been known him since middle school, and we friends to this day. He was my best man at our wedding. Like, that's a real best
Don't
friend.
that just make him your oldest friend? I mean,
No, but we actually, that's the person I talk to every day too. Like,
give an example of a guy. So what I'm talking about, the two of you, and I say that specifically because a lot of women say to themselves before they're married, I know me being a single woman, I've always thought, man, I would love to marry and fall in love with my best friend, that guy that knows me without me having to explain.
I get what you said. I think me and her were like really close and real friends, and like like she said, we didn't argue for 2 years. We had a lot of fun, and that's why I think one of my reasons in marrying her was like we really were friends.
Yeah.
Like, but I think to call her my best friend is different. Like, I don't want you to be my best friend. I want you to be my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to be
I
my,
got a best friend.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I want from you. You know, yeah, like, I want you to be my wife. I want you to be my girlfriend or my spouse, or that's that person. That's, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? A best friend is a whole different person. That's like asking a mom to be a dad. Like, no, bro. It's like, it's two different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that, yeah, people use it too loosely. Definitely.
I agree. I totally had a question, and I was like so into the conversation. I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" I really lost my question, yo. Like that.
All right. Well, the reason why I was leading with that question, right? Is it? No, the reason why I was leading towards that question is mainly because, and I think you guys have already answered this though. It's just like what makes your wife the one, but not your best friend? Why isn't your best friend the one? But I think you just sort of,
because she's my best friend. Well, she's not the wife. She's not my girlfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what she was. That's what, you know, that's what her role was in my life.
Remember it now. Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, don't let me do it. But okay, so do you find it easier or harder to befriend the opposite sex because you like that energy? Because I know for me, like, and Nick and I have talked about this, where it's like I like male energy because it feels like it's less drama sometimes, whatever.
It's been the times, for one, let's start with, it was a time where when I was young, I did 3 years in the penitentiary.
Okay.
I was around males every day. So, like, so listen, like, there's times where I just didn't even want to talk to no dudes. I don't want to be around no dudes. I just want to be around the woman's presence and just, you know, just talk to them, like, you know, understand the woman. So it's a lot of times where, yeah, just being around a woman is definitely different from being around your friend, your men. And then there's times where you just want to be around your homeboys and your friends and your partners. But you know what I mean? But that's what life is about, us having our choices and our different things that we have. And our, you know, we shouldn't have, it's not supposed to be all boys and all girls. When we went to school, we grew up with male and female. You know what I'm saying? So I never understood why, like, they be like, oh, how you know her? Or like, Kiki, you talking to this dude? How you know this dude? Bro, you went to school all your life. You grew up all your life. Like, it's all kind of dudes you knew growing up. Like, come on now. Like, that's unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Well, you know, we could keep this conversation going
forever. Right.
But, you know, just out of curiosity, if anybody is looking to find you guys, do you guys mentor? Do you ever give your opinions on healthy relationships?
I'm not going to say I do all that.
Well, if anybody wanted to,
but listen, but yeah, no, I definitely like. I'm an open, like, if somebody was to hit me up and be like, hey, bro, like, you know, what do you do when this happened in your relationship? I'll tell them what it is, but just don't. I hate when people look at social media and think everybody's life is what you guys see on social media. Like,
But what if people reach you for your business?
Right.
oh no, that's different. What were we talking about?
A little bit of both. What's your business?
So they want to find me. All right, now we're switching up. And that's a whole different thing. I thought we were still on that.
We're trying to transition.
All right,
I don't
so
want to give no advice. I'm not responsible for shit.
transitioning from that, but yeah, Batter on Deck, Facebook, Instagram. I had a lot of people hit me up about advice and business advice and wanting to start food trucks and things like that. And I'm like, I'm always open to give that type of advice any day. Anybody who want to talk about stuff like that, any day, all day, any day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hit me up anytime.
Say your handle again.
Isaiah on Facebook, Isaiah Bostic Senior, Instagram, Batter on Deck. Hit me up on there if y'all want to hit me. Any questions, anything you want to know, I got you.
Okay. And Miss KK.
For me, Kierra Bostic on Facebook, Instagram, I'm Pisces Girl 83. Yeah, I don't know about really giving no advice, because
Look, if you want to dress in pink and come to my birthday party,
that's it.
holler at me.
Coming out,
So for me, Nick B, where can they find you?
So I can be reached on all platforms for DirtyRosesPodcast.com, www.DirtyRosesPodcast.com, or our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
She said
Titter.
Titter.
It's just like, y'all heard that? Titter.
That's a new one right there.
Tap on the titters.
Okay, wait, round that.
And then, and if you want to reach me direct, you can get me on Instagram at NickB_NickB, and that's Nick with a K. Miss Leigh LaRie, where can we find you?
Y'all can find me everywhere. Every social media platform is Leigh LaRie, LeighlLarie. And like Nick B said, on Twitter and everywhere else. Dirty Roast Podcast and DirtyRoastPodcast.com. We look forward to hearing y'all's feedback on the show. If y'all got some advice or input that y'all want to get from us, I mean, we could do some listener letters. We could do some Facebook posts and get some general pop answers. You know what I'm saying?
And if you're also interested in promoting your small business, your entrepreneurship, we have sponsorship packages this year, much like we have these.
Shout out to Callie's Custom Hat Wig. She's got a whole store where she's got blinged out everything in the store, like water bottles. She even got a water bottles with a chain.
Baby, I kind of want this one with the chain.
Man, so it's mine.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you what, I took it to Mexico and it was a beautiful thing because I had my drink in one hand and I had my water hydration hanging on my side.
But you was still cute.
And it was cute. You know?
Yeah.
So she had everything. She got really nice wigs. She's got all these really amazing accessories. And also shout out to Sia Miller, Faces by Sia Mia. She's got some really amazing brushes that you can, for your makeup. They're dope. I love her brushes. But you can also go to her for some esthetician work. She does facials and makeup and all those things. And I think she's getting ready to open up her own like beauty bar spa type thing happening real soon.
Also another general. Just throwing that out there.
We just amazing out here.
No Benz.
Just throwing that out there.
Demos are straight.
Not demos.
Nobody knows.
No. Everybody knows.
Nobody knows.
Not demos.
Everybody knows.
Nobody.
Not we're banging on high school.
He loves to do that. He loves to do that. We got like that. But one thing about a jet nigga, they gonna love a Grant girl.
That is staying because they stayed up in. We had inboxes. Bigger than our inboxes.
Yo, just
Black Planet was popping.
we're popping.
Jeff and Green.
Just saying.
We will catch y'all next time. Deuces.
Guess what, Rose Buddies? We are thrilled to introduce our new sponsorship packages. Be sure to hit us up at DirtyRosesPodcast.com to inquire how we can showcase your brand on our platforms.